Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year. This is video of 227 of 365. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thought we would talk about the I'll be happy when syndrome. Do any of you have this? I used to have this. I'll be happy when I get that thing. I'll be happy when I am that thing or I am that person or I get that person, I get that thing, I get that job, I go on vacation. When I heal this part of my body that's unhealthy, I'll be happy then. But then never comes, does it? Because you get that thing and then you have a desire for something else. So then you're gonna oh, I'm gonna be happy when I get that thing. So there's always a thing coming. There's always a new thing, a new desire. That is expansion. And that is exciting. But we don't let it be exciting. We kind of let it be like this elusive, happiness isn't going to stay for me. Happiness leaves me. It abandons me when I get it. So our task is to be present in the now. And remember, there is no there. We say, when I get there, I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to feel amazing. But there is no there. There is actually now. Because you're always going to want something else. When you get to your perceived there's always going to be something else. And you know how, when you get like a Christmas present or a new car or anything, after a couple weeks, it loses its luster a little bit. We still like it and it makes us feel good, but it wasn't that initial excitement, which is fine. We're getting used to it or whatever, but we have to train ourselves to live in happiness and to live in peace and to live in contentment. We have to train our minds to go that route. And when we are constantly, I want to point this out, this is where my weaknesses are sometimes. I think about the past and I think about the future. And I have to always bring myself gently back and say, no, you've got to get into your now, because that's where your peace is. And I've trained my mind to go there so many times that I just have to remind myself when the triggers happen, I say, no, go back into your mind where you created this peace. And I know what that feels like. It almost feels like wholeness. It's just a feeling of wholeness that comes over me. And I just feel safe there in my mind and in my body. And when you can train yourself to get there, you just keep guiding yourself back. So we're constantly being triggered by everything in our 3D reality. Everything is a distraction. Everything is a distraction. Everything is a mirror of you. Everyone is you pushed out, as Neville Goddard said. So everything is a symbol, if you want to look at it. Like people are symbols. Like I've said it before, they're blobs of energy teaching you something. Everything is teaching you something. Everything around you is just reflecting back you. So I play with this. I have so much fun. Even when things don't go my way or whatever, I'm just like, okay, I wonder why that happened. I get curious. I look at it as data. I'm like, okay, where have my thoughts been? Have they been in the toilet all day or have they been in Happy Land today? Because a lot of times we go back to the past and we're telling a story in our head over and over and over. It's so programmed that we just go back to the default way of thinking. And we do that because we are programmed from a young age to think the way that we think. And then everybody around us programs us. This is all subconscious. We don't know this is happening until now, And so we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 90% of them are the same ones we had yesterday. And a lot of them are negative. So if we are never changing the way we think and believe and guiding our thoughts where they need to go, which is on what is wanted instead of what is unwanted, then we stay in the same familiar emotions because the same thoughts and beliefs are going to create the same feelings and emotions. And then those are going to lead to different choices, different behaviors, and all of that is going to lead to the same circumstances. So we get almost addicted to that old story. And so I want you to be really cognizant of, hey, what story am I telling inside my head? Because am I telling the story of where I want to go and what I want to feel, or am I stuck in some story? And oh my gosh, the stories, they come out of nowhere almost. And it's because we're oblivious to what we're thinking. I really think that's what it is. We're just so oblivious. We let our minds run amok. They just take over. The brain just goes where it's always gone until we say, oh, nope, brain, you need to gently come back here. We're in the now, remember? We don't need to think like that anymore. I have to tell myself that sometimes. I'm not perfect at this either. It's hard being a human sometimes. And so I'll be like, man, you're back there again. Like, why are we back there again? We gotta bring it back here, bring it back here, bring it back to new self 2.0, not old self. That story is just old thoughts that you've thought so many times that it feels so familiar. And it's like we go back to what's familiar and comfortable rather than just dropping it. I encourage you to start telling yourself, I've got to drop this story. Your stories are totally valid. Somebody said this to you and it made you angry. I get it. Totally understand it. But it's just a reflection of old thoughts. Look at it like this. It's a reflection of your old thoughts. And even if it's not, even if we don't believe this stuff, just say, oh my gosh, I'm telling this old story. I'm telling the story of what happened to me today. It's old news. Even today is old news. Even a minute ago is old news. Because we are more powerful than that story. That story is valid. Yes, it happened. But what if we just said, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to practice dropping this. And I'm going to look over here instead. And I'm going to focus on what is it that I want? What is it that I want to feel? Because if we stay stuck in that story, we're bringing our energy down. We're bringing our frequency down. And we're literally pushing away the things that we actually want. So we've got to gain control of our minds. That's the point of this particular video and my channel. We got to get control. We've got to master our minds. That is, I believe, the number one most important thing that we need to do is learn how to master our minds to where we can master our emotions and feelings and beliefs and all the stuff that comes with it. It's like if we learn how to direct our thoughts properly towards what is wanted versus what is not wanted, which we always do that. We're always thinking about what we don't want. If we can learn to train our brains to go the way that we want them to go, they will start going that way. They are programmable. We do not have to stay in that old story, but you got to question yourself and say, do I like being stuck in this old story? Does this feel good? Versus, oh my gosh, what if I could become a happier person? What if I could drop this whole story? I read something about this, I think today. I've got all these videos that I always keep up in my tabs. I got 100 tabs on my computer up, and I'm just taking some notes and, adding to my thousands of pages I already have. But I've got this idea bank, that I'm kind of keeping ready for these videos. And I was just looking at dropping the story, if we keep the old story going, it's like we're keeping the old self alive. And as Neville had said, let the dead, I think Jesus said this actually, I might be wrong. It's Jesus or Neville that said, let the dead bury the dead. Basically, don't, once you kill the old man, don't resurrect him. Basically, don't resurrect self number one when you've already killed self number one. It's drop that story and it's dead. Go ahead and create this new self with a new story. Tell the new story. It's practice the new story so much that it becomes your story that's actually happening, because we don't know if that would actually work because we're so stuck in the old one. So we've got to learn to drop it piece by piece. And sometimes some people need to go to therapy. I get it. We need certain things that we think would get us to where we want to go. The shortcut is just dropping it and giving yourself permission to do that. And that can be hard for some of us, I think, when we have different beliefs that might be kind of telling us, oh, I can't drop that. That's who I am, and question that. Is that who you are? Or is that a programmed old you? Is that really who you are? The truth is it's not. That's not who you are. That old story is not who you are. And play around with it. Like I said, I look at everything as data. And I have no fear. I just kind of it's almost the more I practice being my true self, all the fear goes away. So look at everything as Bashar says, a permission slip to be who you truly are. and anything will work. Whatever resonates with you will work. And you just have to remember that there's a true self in you that is trying to emerge, but it's just been buried by old programming that was not even you. And question every belief that you have. Say, why do I even believe this way? Could I believe something different? Like literally question all your beliefs that you have. Be like, is this my belief or was this somebody else's belief? Or yeah, this is my belief, but do I even need to think this way anymore? Maybe you don't. And like craft your own mind, like design it the way you want it to feel and think. We didn't know we could do that. Nobody told us this, but like design your mind, decide what you want it to think and feel and what would your life look like get really detailed into this stuff and feel it. And my favorite thing to do is just like turn on a timer for like 10 minutes and just sit there and just like visualize things that make me feel a certain way, like little scenes. I love it when I'll do like a congratulations scene, like congratulations, you have 1 million followers, or congratulations on getting married, or whatever the case is. I'll just hear somebody say congratulations and hug me and give me all these positive affirmations that I love to actually hear in real life, and I just feel the feeling and I smile and I laugh and I see the other people smiling, and it's just like this really positive, loving interaction, and it creates a memory in your brain. This is the cool part about it. It's like creates an actual memory, and your brain and body in that moment don't know if it's true or false. They think it's true, like it's actually happening. So you can feed it anything you want. And I just love doing that. It's so fun, and it manifests some cool stuff. Like it's just, it's really crazy what happens when you do that for just a short amount of time, really. But just like drop it, like drop the old self, drop the old story. You're allowed to do that. You don't have to carry that stuff with you every day. It's a prison. It's painful. It does nothing for you but make you feel comfortable. And in order to learn and grow, we've got to change. We've got to change. We're changing every second anyway. We're changing. Whether we like it or not, we're changing. And change is expansion. We want to expand. But we've got to disrupt all these thought patterns we have and rewire them, and then we can expand. Like my channel says, it's like disrupt, rewire, expand. Our goal is to expand, but we've got to disrupt that old self that's trying to get in there every day. So keep practicing. I'll be your reminder every day. We've got to have repetition every day. I think that's why something told me to do these videos every day. It wasn't just about, me getting comfortable on the camera. That was my first goal because I was terrified to do this. But it turned into, wow, I need daily repetition. And then, wow, that means everybody needs daily repetition to remember certain things and to keep it fresh. And so it's like, it's helping me and hopefully helping you as well. That's my intention. And it's just like learning how the old brain has so much control over us, and we don't need to have that happen. We can drop it. So drop the story. And that's another thing I did. I dropped the story of being scared to do this. And I don't even think I was scared to do this, actually. It was mostly like I was scared of judgment or something, or I was scared that I was going to say the wrong thing. And now I'm like, well, if I say the wrong thing, oh, well, what is the wrong thing? I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can say anything wrong. So unless you're being mean to somebody or something, that might not be nice, but I'm not going to be doing that. But it's like, whatever. If I embarrass myself, who cares? Like this is me, and I want to be a real person. And I think that authenticity is really important too. We've got to be our true selves, and we've got to have the reminder that it's okay to do that. It's okay to be yourself, whoever yourself is. We don't even know ourselves. We don't even know what we like or what we want. We've got to figure out what do we even like? What lights us up? What excites us? Write those things down. Get to know yourself, journal, really get to know your true self, and you'll start becoming your true self, and you'll notice that your whole life will shift when you do that. And it's all about your mental state. Remember, we create from our state. So if you're in the state of, I'll be happy when this happens, you're in the state of waiting and not having. That is an actual state. And that never occurred to me until probably, a few months ago. I was reading, I just study all the time, and I love learning about this stuff. And it was like, that is a state in itself of waiting. And I was like, oh my God, it is. I've been in a state of waiting for this certain thing. And so I had to learn how to shift that state. Like, and it can be a bear sometimes when you're stuck in your old story. So just stay as present as possible with yourself and know, hey, where am I at emotionally? Sign up for my email list in the links below, and I'll send you the emotional guidance scale, the updated version from Abraham Hicks. That might be a tool that can help you, but it's good to know, hey, where am I at emotionally? And what state am I in? Basically, it helps you figure out your state. Like, what state am I in an emotional way? Now, remember, there's states of scarcity, there's states of waiting, things like that aren't on that list. But just think about, what am I creating from right now? If I'm sending a signal out with my brain and body right now and my mind, like, what is the universe going to bring me in the state that I'm in right now? What is it going to bring me? And use that to your advantage. Be like, oh no, I'm in a bad mood. Well, I don't want anything to come to me in this mood. I need to be better. And so you can do something about it. You can change your state of being at any moment you want to. You got to do something about it though. You can't just sit there and say, this is where I'm at, and then stay there for like a week and just wallow in it. We can't do that. Just let it pass through. Feel it. Let the energy pass through. And it'll actually, if you don't suppress it and push it down, it will flow through the body. The energy wants to flow all the time. It just needs, an outlet. It needs to flow like water. So we got to let it flow instead of holding it in and white knuckling everything, and let it just flow and feel it, and it will dissipate and transmute. And the more we practice these things, the better we're going to get at them. And it's a skill set we're developing. And so that takes some time sometimes, and it takes some time, whatever, there's time is an illusion. Time is subjective, of course, there's just, we're all having a different experience. There's 8 billion different realities we're all experiencing. So whatever works for you, whatever resonates best with you is going to work for your true self. So everything I say, like I've said, don't believe me, just go try things, just try the things that resonate best with you and see how it works for you. That's my best advice. Become your own evidence. Like I've said, become your own evidence, look at your own data and have fun. Have fun while you're practicing this. Have fun and enjoy. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll quit rambling. So thank you guys for listening so much and for watching. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to. And please share this with someone who might benefit from the information. And remember, you are so loved. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.